Good morning and welcome to the new episode of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Recently, there has been a lot of discussion going on social media, in the mainstream media as well, that injustice was done to Pakistan in 1947 when a lesser number joined of the princely states joined Pakistan compared to India, which has a large number, about 600 independent princely states, are quasi independent. They joined India. But in Pakistan, it doesn't happen. Was it geographical? Was it political? Was it strategic? These are the major issues confronting people. And most of the people think that contiguity or geographical proximity were the main reasons that most of the states joined India and not Pakistan. Well, that is fallacious and a wrong reasoning. If that was so, there would have been no East Pakistan, which later on became Bangladesh. There's more than 1,000 miles between the two, and yet they were one country. If that was to be so, then Hyderabad would not have tried to join Pakistan or remain independent. Was it a population? If it was so, then Jodhpur, a pencil state in Rajasthan, which has a large Hindu population, majority of them, and a Hindu ruler, still wanted to join Pakistan. And people inhabiting present Madhya Pradesh, like Bhopal state, or Rampur in UP, wanted to join Pakistan. So the geographical contiguity or the geographical neighborhood was not the main reason. Main thing was that the Pakistan approach to integrate the Princely states was in sharp contrast to that of India. And that is also the main reason that today in Pakistan, military has a paramount power, unusual amount of authority. It was July 1947, a month before the British were to leave, that Viceroy Mountbatten called a meeting of the Chamber of Princes in which he advised the princes to choose to accede either to Pakistan or to India. There was a third option under the law that they could remain independent, but Mountbatten's advice was, don't remain independent, you cannot remain independent, so you have to join either India or Pakistan for your own good. The prospect of an efficient independent country, as those states thought to be, would be full of chaos for them, and it's a mirage, it's an illusion, it would not happen. And if they're independent, one day or the other, Pakistan or India would take them over. That's happened to Sikkim. His exact words were, categorically, you cannot run away from the dominion government, which is your neighbor, then any more than you can run away from your subjects for whose welfare you are responsible. Now, as the date of independence drew nearer, the 600 odd states under the British Raj remained to be decided. Those princes, kings were pampered and exploited by the British. They were not independent, they were semi-autonomous chiefdoms and were in fact one of the toughest challenges both for India and Pakistan. They were a geographical problem, the like of which no independent country in the world has ever faced. That is a fact. If you look at the history, by the late 1930s, Indian National Congress had made its stance clear on the future of the states. The Pural Swaraj, or the complete independence, which is the object of the Congress, is for the whole of India, was a resolution passed in 1938 at Haripura session, which went on to say that whole of India, inclusive of states, for the integrity and unity of India must be maintained. In June 1947, from 30s to 47, 17 years, the State Department was created by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel as Mr. in charge and VP Manley as secretary. And this duo set about starting, wooing, cajoling, persuading, convincing, and pressurizing the states to join Indian Union. In 47 spring, Patel must have thrown at least 250 lunch parties where he urged the princely states to help Congress frame the new constitution for India. Now, people who criticize that Patel should have been the Prime Minister are sometimes naive. Had Patel been the Prime Minister, possibly those states would not have joined, because as Home Minister he could do all that. And if Jawaharlal Nehru was the Home Minister, he would say, okay, if you want to remain independent, remain independent. If you want to join Pakistan, the result would have been that there would have been 15 mini Pakistans in India. Imagine Bhopal wanted to be in Pakistan, Rampur wanted to be in Pakistan, Pataudi, Saif Ali Khan's father, he wanted to be in Pakistan, Jodhpur wanted to be in Pakistan, Junagadh wanted to be in Pakistan, Travancore, Kochi wanted to be independent. So there were at least 15, and then once that trend starts, the others would also like to be independent, because then it's a rat race. Okay, if X can be independent, why can I not be independent? So it was good for India that Patel was not the Prime Minister, but was the Home Minister. Now, India was actively pursuing, it was strategy, that states should join India. But Pakistan was unconcerned. In India, we had a State Department. The counterpart of Indian State Department in Pakistan was headed by Sardar Abdul Rahab Nishtar. And he was absolutely inactive till the Independence Day. While here, before the Independence Day, 3 months before the independence, there were more than 250 lunches for the princes, 2, 3, 4. So, Sardar Abdul Rahab Nishtar was not bothered. So, complicating the matter was that Muhammad Ali Jinnah, he said nobody will talk to the princes, but he himself would talk to the princes to join India. Now, he was busy creating a new country. And the issue of states was a distant problem for Jinnah. So that's why what India had, Patel as independent Home Minister, Nehru not intervening, except in one case he intervened Jammu and Kashmir because of this. So, constructing the state was a difficult problem. The result was that by August 15, a majority of states had already joined India, and not a single one had joined Pakistan. Now that's amazing. Not a single state had joined Pakistan. Later on, though, 9 small states, principalities, joined Pakistan, and they form more than half of the land mass of present Pakistan. And on the border of the country, they are mostly Kalat and others. Now, Muslim League's relationship with the Princess states was also not a good, happy one. Most of the states joined India because they were unhappy with the Muslim League. Most of the states with non-Muslim population would not think of even joining Pakistan. Now, again, while majority Muslim states wanted to join Pakistan, Malerkotla was one state, Muslim majority, but they said, no, we'll join India. So while Mountbatten was reiterating the principle of free to join India or Pakistan, Congress was very quick to point out, especially Patel, that no, it's not possible. Now Hyderabad, Bhopal, Junagadh, Palampur, Rampur, Pataudi, Jodhpur, they had, except Jodhpur, all Muslim rulers, but they were far away from the territory of Pakistan. So, out of something like 565 states, the vast majority joined India. By this logic, only those states that were neighboring Pakistan would have joined. So all 13 states in Punjab, Cooch Behar and many Rajasthan were there. But only two of the Punjab states, Khairpur and Bahawalpur, joined Pakistan, others joined India. As a matter of fact, Gurdaspur should have been with Pakistan. Now, historian Ian Copland says that Indian intelligence was receiving reports that Jodhpur was actively supporting and think of joining Pakistan. Majority Hindu population, Hindu king, and yet he wanted to join because of their good economic relations with Sindh and Punjab. So, Patel took action, called him, told him that's not possible. And he was forced to join India. And Muslim League, like the British Raj, saw the princes as a counterweight to oppose Congress. So they wanted them to be independent, basically. So Jinnah was content with giving maximum freedom to the princes once the British Raj came to him. And he was of the opinion that the states need not join them. He wanted to be independent, as I said. That was the problem. So when you don't want anything, why should the states join you? If they've been proactive, then at least they had a claim on Junagadh because it's a Muslim population and Muslim king could have joined. Now, despite that fact, imagine in 1944, Zauki clearly said that you cannot ignore your brothers in Indian state. Pakistan would never be happy if the Indian Muslims are left in lurch. But nobody listened to him. Jinnah was willing to listen to Kashmir only for one reason, that it would give him Kashmir, the beauty. As a matter of fact, in 1943 and 1947, he said, I am not prepared to support a sanctioned direct action against Kashmir Darbar. Even in June 47, he told a delegation of Kashmiri Muslims not to campaign for a state to seat Pakistan, but to support Maharaja Hari Singh's bid to remain independent. So basically he wanted to create independent countries, and since it was close to Pakistan, Rawalpindi, they could control it. The League stance changed from June 47 when Mountbatten gave a revised plan, and then they started trying to convince these princes to join Pakistan. They also wanted to boost the area and population by welcoming some princely states. So it was a soft target for the border states, as I said. Maharaja of Kashmir, whom Jinnah had promised to allow that he'll be independent. Rampur, League resorted to a much stronger tactic, and a much harassed Nawab of state is told the Viceroy that Jinnah was pressurizing him in every possible way to join Pakistan. During July and August, League agents worked clandestinely in Bharatpur, Alwar and Poonch. They were encouraging local Muslims to start riots. They wanted to start, shall I call it, insurrection, revolt. So Alwar and Bharatpur. And Pakistani authorities started an private war against the independent Kashmir Darbar. The first state to join Pakistan was Junagadh and Kathiawar. Now, the distance between Junagadh and Pakistan is hundreds of miles, and Nawab Muhammad Mahabad Khan was a Muslim, but the majority was Hindu. So he wanted to join Pakistan, and because his Diwan, or the Prime Minister, was Shah Nawaz Bhutto, father of Zulfi Bhutto. So Bhutto being the Nawab, he wanted to set up. But what happened? A nephew of Mahatma Gandhi, Samal Das Gandhi, started an uprising. There was a breakdown in the economy. Looking at that, Nawab fled to Karachi, and in November 47, Junagadh joined India, but not immediately. In February 1948, a plebiscite was held. 91% of the voters chose to join India. Now, Bahawalpur in Punjab and Khairpur in Sindh were on the borders, and they could decide to join either India and Pakistan. But both were Muslim majority states. They were governed by the Muslim rules, and India was not interested in these two states. So they joined Pakistan in October. Come to Chitral, Dir, Swat, and They were four small states lying edges to NFP, Northwest Frontier Province. Chitral, Dir, Swat, and these were mostly tribal. They operating on subsistence economy. So they joined Pakistan. And they joined in December 42. The ruler of the Dir, Sir Shah Jahan Khan, did not want to join Pakistan. He wanted to join Afghanistan. However, he could not join Afghanistan because that was against the act. Then there were two tiny states which were under Kashmir, Hunza and Nagar, along with Gilgit. They were under the suzerainty of Jammu and Kashmir, and Maharaja of Kashmir ruled them indirectly, but in their own way they were sovereign. The way the Indian states were sovereign, but their suzerainty was of the British Raj. So these two states, Hunza, Nagar and Gilgit, they rebelled and joined Pakistan. But the legal position is never clear because they were under the suzerainty of Kashmir. So till today they are independent, not independent basically, but autonomous, and they are outside the ambit of the Pakistan constitution. Now there was one princely seat of Klab, which is in Balochistan. It was giving very much trouble to Pakistan movement. Its ruler Ahmad Yar Khan, he wanted to be independent like Hyderabad and Travancore. He was very friendly to Jinnah, but Jinnah told him very clearly that no, he has to join Pakistan, and in February 48 he joined Pakistan. Now 15 fiduciary states like La Bela, Kharan and Makran, they were cut off from Klab and they decided to join Pakistan. And at one time Klab wanted to join India under the impact of Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, but before he could sign an instrument with India, he was compelled to sign on March 27, 1948 with Pakistan. Though there was a revolt in July 48 by his brother Prince Abdul Karim. Then Travancore was a state in South India. And the Diwan of Travancore, Sir C.P. Ramaswamy, distinguished lawyer, he said, no, we'll be independent, we are a great country. And he was being helped by Jinnah to be independent. He also had secret ties with the British government, who supported independence, because he had an exclusive mineral called monazite. Now monazite, the 90% of the world production is in Travancore, and the British wanted to exploit it. So they wanted Travancore to be independent, and Jinnah wanted Travancore to be independent. So he said no, and monazite, no, let me tell you, is important for the nuclear arms. So Diwan stuck to his position till July 47, and then somebody tried to assassinate him. This was Kerala Socialist Party, and he got terrified, and on July 30, 1947, 15 days before the partition, he joined India. Jodhpur was a very strong case. Hindu king, large Hindu population, but Maharaja Hanwant Singh wanted to join Pakistan because he shared border and he had economy. And Jinnah said, okay, if you join Pakistan, we'll give you free access to Karachi port. and we'll also give you military support. The moment Patel came to know of it, he immediately contacted the prince and told him that if you join Pakistan, that will be ruin for you. So, better sense dawned on Jodhpur and he joined India. As a matter of fact, when he was given the agreement, the instrument of accession, he took out his revolver and held it on the secretary who had brought that instrument for him to sign. He said, I'll shoot you. I will not accept that dictation. But in 5 minutes, he saw that if he did so, he'll be signing his own death warrant. There were more than 20 Indian officers, army officers, pointing their guns at him. So he calmed down, signed the document. And then another state who wished to be independent was Bhopal, which had a Muslim Nawab, but majority Hindu population like Junagadh. But he was very close to Muslim League and opposed to Congress. Before he could do anything, he came to know, and Mountbatten told him that if he do so because of the majority Hindu rule, India would be justified in taking action. So in July 47, he also ceded to India. Hyderabad, everybody knows, declared independence, and we had to have operation, military operation under General Chaudhary. Junagadh was different. Junagadh was Muslim majority, Muslim Nawab, but then, Hindu majority, like Bhopal. So he ultimately fled. Now, Pakistan, the main issue was that they wanted centralization and weakening of the ruling class. That was not important. That was more important than the development of democracy. And because the development of democracy was not important, as I said earlier, military became more powerful there. And the effect is seen even today. Bangladesh, if you look at the ambivalent attitude of the Pakistan government towards democracy, still plaguing Pakistan, and continuation of the democracy in India, you would find the reason why the majority of the people, Hindus or Muslims, they wanted to join India, then join Pakistan. So, as I said earlier, geographical contiguity was one reason, but not the only reason. It was strategy, it was well-planned plan, it was firm decision, and the political system. Not all authority vested in the chief, like in Jinnah. But there were two independent power sectors, centers of power in India, Patel, Nehru. So that all combined together to ensure that the majority of the princely province states decided to join India and make it a unified, cohesive country, probably for the first time. India as it stands today was never like that. Though the the history said they extended to Iran and over there, but then if they went to Iran, it was only Kashmir going to Iran, or South Chalchi going to Iran. If it was Vietnam and Korea and Thailand, it was only the southern states. So India is unified from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, was never as contiguous, unified whole as it became in 1947 and continues like that till today.